Hi students, welcome to my channel. Myself is Vedamurthy. Today we are going to discuss about filling of orbitals in atom. This is related to chemistry class 11, unit 2. Uh, the chapter is structure of atom. Today is the part 9. Students, you can also uh, see you can also see in the other parts also up to 1 to 8 is there, that is also you can see in, that is also you can view the videos. By that you can mm, fantastically understanding about the structure of atom full chapter. So let us continue. The filling of electrons into the orbitals of different atoms takes place according to the Aufbau principle, which is based on the Pauli's exclusion principle and Hund's rule of the maximum multiplicity, and also the relative energies of orbitals. First we will study about Aufbau principle, followed by Pauli's exclusion principle and Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. So this Aufbau word was derived from the German language. So Aufbau means building up. So the meaning total in the application of Aufbau principle, the building up of orbitals means the filling up of the orbitals with electrons. The principle Aufbau principle states like this: in the ground state of the atoms, the orbitals are filled in order of their increasing energies. So what is the principle of this one? In the ground state of the atoms, the orbitals are filled in the order of their increasing energies. How the energies are increasing? In the same way. So in the same order, the orbitals are filling in the atoms in the ground state. You can also summarize like this: electrons first occupy the lowest energy orbital available to them and enter into the higher energy orbitals only after the filling of lower energy orbitals. Okay, so energy of a given orbital depends upon effective nuclear charge, and different types of orbitals are affected by the to different extent. Thus there is no single ordering of energies of orbitals which will be universally correct for all the atoms. However, see, the energies of the orbitals in extremely useful like this, you can call as energies of orders are 1s, 2s, 2p, 3s, 3p, 4s, 4d, 4p, 5s, 4d, 5p, 4f, 5d, 6p, 7f, and etc. See, the order may be using the method as given in the structure. You can see about this structure. So the how the order is arranged. It is starting from the top 1s. So then this arrow is showing to next orbital. From 1s orbital, next will go to 2s orbital, further 2p, 3s, 3p, and etc. So on and so on. So here the starting of the orbital from the right top to bottom left. With respect to the placement of the outermost valence electrons. So it is remarkably accurate for all atoms. Say for example, valence electrons in potassium must choose between 3d and 4s orbitals, and is predicted by this sequence. It is found in 4s orbital. The above order should be assumed to be a rough guide to the filling of the energy levels. In many cases, what will happen? The orbitals are similar in energy, and small change in atomic structure may be in about to change in the order of filling. Even then, the above rises is a useful guide to the building of the electronic structure of the atom, provided that it is remembered the exceptions may occur. So this is the filling of the order of filling orbitals. So next we'll come to the Pauli's exclusion principle. So what it says, what it states, the number of electrons to be filled in various orbitals is restricted by the exclusion principle given by the Australian scientist. His name is Wolfgang Pauli in 1926. According to Pauli's exclusion principle, according to Wolfgang Pauli, no two electrons in an atom can have the same set of four quantum numbers. No two electrons in an atom can have the same set of four quantum numbers is the Pauli's exclusion as per Pauli's Wolfgang Pauli. And also Pauli's exclusion principle can be stated like this: only two electrons may exist in the same orbital and these electrons must have opposite spin. So it means this opposite spin, the two electrons can have the same value of three quantum numbers. Say quantum numbers are n, l and ml, but must have the opposite spin quantum numbers. The restriction imposed by Pauli exclusion principle on the number of electrons in an orbital atom is calculating the capacity of the electrons to be present in any subshell. Say for example, subshell 1s comprises one orbital and thus the maximum number of electrons present in 1s subshell can be 2. In 1s we can accommodate 2 electrons. So in P and D subshell, the maximum number of electrons can be accommodated 6 and 10. So P6 and P10, sorry D10, and so on. So this can be summarized as the maximum number of electrons in the shell with the principal quantum number is equal to 2n square. So this is about Pauli exclusion principle. Next, Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity deals with the filling of electrons into the orbitals belonging to the same subshell. Means orbitals of the equal energy called degenerate orbitals. Which are the equal energies? Those orbitals are called degenerate orbitals. So as per the Hund's rule, maximum multiplicity states a pairing of electrons in the orbitals belonging to the same subshell means P, D or F does not take place until each orbital belonging to that subshell has got one electron each, that is, it is like singly occupied. So since there are the 3p, 5d and even 7f orbitals, therefore the pairing of electrons will start in p, d and f orbitals with the entry of 4th, 6th and 8th electron respectively. It has been observed that half-filled and fully filled degenerate set of the orbital acquire extra stability due to their symmetry. So that we can discuss in the next that is in the electronic configuration we can discuss about the details. Okay students, so next so in the electronic configuration of atoms, sorry, so next we will go for electronic configuration of atoms. Electronic configuration, the distribution of electrons into orbitals of an atom is called electronic configuration. So electronic configuration means is nothing but a distribution of electrons in the orbitals of the particular atom. So we can simplify it like this. Okay. So if one keeps in mind the basic rules which gives the filling of different atomic orbitals, the electronic configuration of the different atom can be written very easily. So electronic configuration of different atom can be represented in two ways. One in, we can write it as notation SA. We can write it as notation SA, okay, PB and DC and so on. These are the notations. And another one type is orbital diagram. Orbital diagram means this is nothing but a orbital diagram. This is nothing but a orbital diagram. This is nothing but orbital diagram. See what it is saying here. First one is so S, and second one is this is P, and one more we can put it as D orbital. So the D orbital having 5 set of electrons you can pair, that is pairing of electrons, that is up to 10 you can keep in D orbital. So this is another type of representation of electronic configuration. So now we can discuss in detail. So what the first step is showing as notations, SCA, sorry, SCA what it will shows, or SPB what it shows, what DC will shows, we will discuss. So in the first notation, the subshell is represented by the respective letter symbol. Subshell is represented by the respective letter symbol. That is, respective letter symbol is S. Just this orbital. That is subshell. Okay. So here the number of it is depicted in the superscript like ABC. So subshell is depicted, orbital is depicted like S, and subshells are depicted like subscripts C, B and A and so on. The similar subshell represented for different shells in differentiated by writing the principal quantum number before the respective subshell. So in the second notation, what we said, that is orbital diagram, 1s you can write, P you can write, and D shell orbitals we can write. So here how it will happen, in the second notation each orbital of the subshell is represented by a box. So like this box will comes, and the electron is represented by the arrow, up one arrow, that is positive spin, and the another one arrow is lower side arrow towards the lower side, that is negative spin. So what is the advantage of this second notation means, so this represents the 4 quantum numbers. So what is the advantage of the instead of first and SP D ABC notation, it will shows over than this orbital diagram notation. It will gives the 4 quantum number, how it is representing, that will indicate in orbital diagram. The hydrogen atom has only one electron. Okay, hydrogen atom having only one electron, which goes to the orbital with the lowest energy. I say suppose hydrogen atom having only one electron. So how we can write the electronic configuration? This is 1s. So we can write it in orbital diagram. You can write it in orbital diagram like this, 1s. So this is orbital diagram. So that will goes to lowest energy, so namely 1s. The electronic configuration of hydrogen atom is 1s, meaning it has only one electron in 1s orbital. So its configuration is therefore 1s2. You can call it as 1s2. You can call it as 1s2. So as the two electrons differ from each other with opposite spin, as can be seen from the orbital diagram. So the two electrons having the opposite spins, so this we can call it as like this, so opposite spins. And also the third sorry, here one small mistake was there. So hydrogen, so the helium having helium electronic configuration like this will becomes like this. Helium electron configuration, helium having electrons, we can write it helium like this, 1 2. Okay, this is helium, electronic configuration. So that is having helium electron configuration. You can write it in simple form is 1s2. And hydrogen, you know, hydrogen electronic configuration is 1s1, that is 1, sorry, that is hydrogen electronic configuration is 1s, because it's having only one electron. We can write it as like this, that is 1s, so that is hydrogen. Students, so next third electron, which is third electron in the periodic table, lithium. So lithium having 3 electrons, so we can write it lithium in this way. First you can see that first line, so 2 electrons are there in 1s position, so in the 2s position 1 electron is there, so 2s 1s having 2 electrons and 2s having 1 electron. So it is filled with the lowest energy level, which is 1, that is 1 is filled first. So that is nothing but 1s3, sorry, 1s2 and 2s1. So electronic configuration becomes 1s1, 1s2 and 2s1. So here in 1s orbital, because of the Pauli's exclusion principle, is not allowed all the 3 electrons, because only 2 electrons can be accommodated in one subshell, or one subshell means 1s 2s is the subshells, s is the orbital. So it will go to next position, that is 2s. Next we'll see the beryllium. You can see the beryllium atom. Beryllium atom electronic configuration is 1s2 2s2. So that is beryllium, how we can write it like this, 1s2 and 2s2. So 2 spins, opposite spins in both the boxes, so total 4 electrons. Same way we can write it boron, having 5 electrons. So that 5 electrons, what will happen here, one more step will be included, that is 1. So this is 1s, this is 2s, and this is p orbital. So in the p orbital only one electron will comes to the p orbital, that is 3p1. So we can write the 2p1. We can write the electronic configuration of boron is 1s2 2s2 2p1. And you can see the carbon also, carbon electronic, carbon having 6 electrons, so that is 1s2 2s2 and 2p1 2p2, that is 1 electron each are filled in the 2p electron or subshell. And same way nitrogen having 7 electrons, so 7 are 3 2p subshell is completely half filled, this is completely half filled, these are the completely half filled. So next you can see that so even you can the configuration of electronic configuration of nitrogen is 1s2 2s2 2p3. And oxygen is 1s2 2s2 2p 2p2, right, 2p5, sorry, 2p2. Here in first place 2 are there, and second and third one is there. So here the electronic configuration is 1s2 2s2 2p5. And we can write it fluorine, see the fluorine having 9 electrons, so that is filled 1s2 2s2 2p5. So 2p5 is one is singly half filled, singly filled. Okay, so in the next neon, in the neon there are 10 electrons are there. So in the 10 electrons are distributed in 1s2 2s2 and 2p subshells. So 2p in neon case, all the 2p subshells are completely filled, so all are completely filled here. Okay, see here the electronic configuration of elements sodium. How we can write electronic configuration sodium is 1s2 2s2 2p6 and 3s1, and argon is 1s2 2s2 2p6 3s2 3p6. So here we have to follow the exactly the same pattern as the elements from lithium to neon. From sodium to argon we have to same formula, same pattern we have to follow to find out the electronic configuration of sodium to argon. And here just some small difference with that. So next we'll go to 3s and 3p instead of 2p. Again we'll continue with 3s and 3p in the orbitals of in the electron in the atoms of sodium and argon. 3s and 3p will be including. This process can be simplified if you represent the total number of electrons in the first two shells by the name of element Ne. So that is we can simplify the steps. For example, sodium, how we can write sodium electronic configuration as per the pattern, as per the complete electronic configuration, we can write it as 1s2 2s2 2p6 and 3s1. So another one pattern we can include it like this. So neon we can consider. Okay, so neon we can take it as, instead of writing 1s2 2s2 2p6, in the place of 1s2 2s2 2p6 you can put it as neon and 3s1. So you can write the electronic configuration of nitrogen also like this, nitrogen. Okay, so how we can write, sodium, how we can write electronic configuration. This is one more format, that is neon in place of 1s2 2s2 2p6 and 3s1. This is the one more electronic configuration pattern of sodium. Same way we can write it for argon. You know the argon electronic configuration is 1s2 2s2 2p6 3s2 and 3p6. Okay students, so we can, in the simplified form, we can write it like this. Argon bracket neon close the bracket, you can write it as 3s2 and 3p6. The last two subshells we have to write with that. This is the simplified form of the pattern of the electronic configuration of sodium and argon respectively. Though electrons in the completely filled subshells are known as core electrons. See, these are the completely, these are the completely filled electrons. This is one, so where neon having the completely filled electrons, so that is called core electrons. And also we can say where the electrons are shell having the highest principal quantum number are called the valence electrons. For example, the electrons in neon are the core electrons, and the electrons from sodium to argon are the valence electrons. Sodium to argon can call as neon valence electrons. For example, in potassium and calcium, the 4s orbital being lower energy than the 3d orbital. So it is occupied by 1 and 2 electrons respectively. So 3d will occupy 1 electron and 4s will occupy 2 electrons. A new pattern is followed beginning with scandium Sc, the 3d orbital being the lower energy than the 4p orbital. So it's filled first. 3d should be filled first than the 4p. So consequently, the next 10 elements, say from scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, nickel, copper, and zinc, the 5d orbitals are progressively occupied. We may be puzzled by the fact that chromium and copper have 5 and 10 electrons in 3d orbital rather than 4 and 9, as this their position would have the indicated with 2 electrons in the 4s orbital. So the reason is simple, that is fully filled orbitals and half filled orbitals have extra stability, so that is lower energy. Thus P3, P6, D5, D10, F7, F14, etc. are the configurations which are either half filled or fully filled are most stable. Chromium and copper adopt the D5 and D10 configuration. So with the saturations of the 3d orbital, the filling up of the 4p orbital starts at gallium Ga, and is complete at krypton Kr. In the next 18th elements from rubidium Rb to xenon Xc, the pattern of filling of the electrons are 5s, 4d and 5p orbitals are similar to that of the 4s, 3d, 4p orbitals as discussed above. Then comes the turn of the 6s orbital in cesium and the barium. So their orbital contains 1 and 2 electrons respectively. Then from the lanthanum La to mercury. The filling up of electrons takes place in lanthanum mercury 4f and 5d orbitals. After this, filling of the 6p and 7s and finally 5f and 6d orbitals takes place. The elements after uranium are all short lived and all of them are produced artificially. Uranium onwards are produced artificially. So the electronic configuration of the known elements, for example, as determined by spectrophotometric method in the earlier classes. So one may ask, having the questions about knowing the electronic configuration, what is the use? What is the utility of knowing the electronic configuration? As per the modern approach to the chemistry, in fact, it depends almost entirely on electronic distribution to understand and explain chemical behavior. See, some more examples, some more questions will come on this. Questions like, why two or more atoms combine to form more molecules? Why some elements are metal while other are non-metals? Why elements like helium and argon are non-reactive, but elements like halogens are reactive? So there are find some simple explanation from the electronic configuration we can find from the electronic configurations. So these questions have no answers in the earlier structure of atoms like Daltonian model of atom. So it's not given any answer that. So here we can find out the detailed understanding of the electronic structure of the atoms is therefore very essential for getting insight into the various aspects of the molecules like chemical knowledge. So next we'll go for a stability of completely filled and half filled substance. So how it will be there, so that we can study in this particular section. The stability of completely filled and half filled orbitals. In the ground state electronic configuration of the atom, an element always corresponds to the state of the lowest total electronic energy. The electronic configuration of the most of the atoms follow the basic rules given in the we discussed in the section filling of electrons, filling of orbitals. However, in certain examples such as copper or chromium, where the two subshells 4s and 3d differ slightly in their energies. An electron shifts from a subshell of the lower energy 4s to a subshell of higher energy 3dr. So provided such a shift of results in all the orbitals of the subshell of higher energy getting either completely filled or a half filled. So the value of electronic configuration of chromium and copper so are 3d5 4s1 and 3d10 4s1 respectively, and 3d4 and 4s2 and 3d9 4s2 is not like that. So it has been found that there is extra stability associated with these electronic configurations. So now we have to discuss about the cause. What are the causes of the stability of completely filled and half filled subshells? There are here mainly we listed some two main causes of stability of the completely filled and half filled subshells. One is symmetrical distribution of electrons and another one is exchange of energy. So first, symmetrical distribution of energy. In symmetrical distribution of energy, it's well known that asymmetry leads to the stability. The completely filled or half filled subshell have symmetrical distribution of the electrons with them and are therefore are more stable, where the completely filled or half filled subshells have symmetrical distribution of electrons, those are more stable. So electrons in the same subshell here 3d have equal energy but a different spatial distribution. Consequently, their shielding of one to another is relatively smaller and the electrons are more strongly attracted by the nucleus. Second one, exchange energy. The stability of energies whenever two or more electrons with the same spin are present in the degenerate orbitals of a subshell. So these electrons tend to exchange their positions and the energy released to their exchange is called exchange of energy. The number of exchanges that can take place in maximum where the subshell is either half filled or completely filled. So that we can see in the below picture. See that this is the picture. Sorry, one second. Yeah. So in this picture we can see that is exchange of electrons. So as a result, exchange of energy is maximum and so it is stable. The exchange of energy is at the basis of the Hund's rule. The electrons which enter into the orbitals of the equal energy have parallel spin so as far as possible. So in other words, the extra stability of the half-filled and completely filled subshell is due to relatively small shielding and smaller Coulombic repulsion energy, and the third one is larger exchange energy. So this details about the exchange energy will dealt with the higher classes. So you can see in the how the electrons or possible electrons will exchange from d5 configuration. So this is d5 configuration. So it is started from 1s electron, one electron. So this is divided into 5 parts. So each having subshell having one electrons. So 1 to exchange of electrons from 1 to 4. 4 exchange by electron 1. So second step 3 exchange by electrons 2. Third step 2 exchange by 3 electrons, and the fourth is 3 exchange by 1 electron. Sorry, 1 exchange by 4 electron. So this is about the filling up of energies and electronic configuration and stability of the half filled and completely filled orbitals. I hope students you understood about this topic. Thanks for watching the video.